Give us you have rental units, right? You have people in the rental.
Yeah.
Give us your give us some shit that you had to learn, some fuck ups, and also give us, what your biggest advice would be towards
All
if
right.
that's what you're interested in.
So the fuck ups on the rental side, they usually come at two different times. They usually come before you even buy the property, or they come when with tenant screening. So like I'll talk about the first part, like buying a property. A lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy this house. It's 30,000. I could rent it for 800, and the mortgage is 3, and that's cool. Okay, so you go ahead, you ran all your numbers, and you feel confident moving forward. So you go ahead and you do the deal. But what you didn't figure out prior to signing all that paperwork is you didn't run any inspections on the hot water heater, on the
Oh,
HVAC system, on the electrical system, on the plumbing. So you thinking you get in this house that you ready cash flow $400 or $500, and third month. So let's say you make it to 3 months, you saved up $1,200 from cash flow, and now your AC goes out. That's 5 to 7 grand. You know what I mean? That you could have prevented that had you took your time in the beginning and inspected those systems. A lot of people, a lot of these educations, because they're talking about property that's so cheap, they're not really talking to you about the inspection period and what you really should be looking for in the inspection period. But inspection period, you definitely want to look out for all your major things. So like your roof, your electrical, your plumbing, and then
HVAC.
your major systems. Like that stuff will eat a hole in your pocket. Like this shit crazy, bro. Like it's really crazy. Like, and especially because these systems they're operating a lot of times is based off of how the tenant is using them. So like if a tenant is
Oh,
running the system
I didn't think about that.
nonstop and your
Yeah,
system is okay, but it's not new or whatever, that could mess up your system. And
it can
then
only
next
go
thing you know,
down. It can only, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's
so
not like
so
it's
it's
gonna
like
stay perfect.
exactly,
Mm.
exactly. So you got that, and then as far as the tenant side, because everybody is taking these courses about it's a strategy called BRRRR. So that's buying, you'll renovate. What is it? Buy, renovate, refinance, and repeat, or something like that. So basically, what they're teaching you to do is buy a property that's distressed, fix it up, refinance it, take the equity out, and then go do it again. And because they're doing that, what's happening are people are taking on these debt obligations. So you're taking on a mortgage, right? Because you've pulled money out. So
Okay.
your mortgage is higher than what it would have been had you just kept it how it was.
Yeah, because you
But
pulled the
you
equity. Yeah.
because you pulled equity. So what happens is people now have these larger mortgages, and because they got to hurry up and put a tenant in there so that they can have their overhead covered, they're skipping some of the processes in terms of bringing a tenant in. So your background check may not be all that. You may have not qualified your tenant as good as you could on the income side. They could be really struggling to meet just to pay their rent. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, to where if you are forced to move quickly and you get a bad tenant
Mm.
with evictions and stuff like that that's going on now, you will be stuck. You could be stuck without money for 6 7 months, and if you're relying on
God
that person
damn.
to pay your mortgage and they don't, they're not the persons that getting stuff on their credit for late mortgage payments and all that. That's all you. So
Mm.
like that's some of the stuff that people don't talk about when you talk about picking up these properties. Like there's a lot of things that you should go through and make sure that you got multiple exit strategies. I said that's probably one of the biggest problems with new investors is they don't have multiple exit strategies. If one don't work, I need to know how am I going to change this situation if it gets in the worst case scenario. So
Mm.
that definitely will minimize the risk and help people have more successful time in real estate for sure.
So I would guess on a back end, those are the things that you take serious. Like when you have your property, it's the tenant screening and it's your check of the property. It's like, is it worth? I gotta make sure I put my money into this. It's at least has a high chance of working out, I should say.
The thing is, like, with those inspections and things, like people get so worried about the inspection, thinking like, oh, well, what if this is wrong? If it is, let's say you spent a couple of dollars in
Yeah, a couple
due
$100.
diligence or whatever. Yeah, like for me, I try to explain to people like you're much better off losing a couple $100 in the beginning than to lose thousands on the back.
Yeah,
Like take your time. Like
150.
yeah, like I mean, it's crazy, bro, because we live in, and it's not no different. Like, it's a lot of investors out there. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of competition. So in that era, we watch people really like speed through the process just to get these deals that sometimes you done went so fast, it's not even a deal no more because you missed a major part of the process. So yeah, that's definitely something that I'm locked in on, and I make sure that all my clients are locked in on, that we ask all the right questions, that we get all the right disclosures, all the proper materials, so they can make the most informed decisions.